Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back again to another live show on the channel. It is match preview for the game tomorrow between Brighton versus Newcastle United down at the Amex Stadium, 3 o'clock kickoff. I've got Rob with me today, also known from his channel Roobenstein. How you doing, man?
Yes, I'm good, mate. Thank you for having me on. Obviously, looking forward to the game this weekend. Hopefully, we can make it 2 wins in 2.
I mean, absolutely. Yes. Why can't we? I mean, first of all, the win against Forest, 2-0 win. What did we make to kick off the season with 3 points?
Yeah, I was excited for it. It's a funny one, because a part of me thinks it's still in my own head. Like I'm still looking at the Newcastle who was over the last few years, but I think I've got to just slowly realize that Eddie Howe is doing a good job, and the players we've got are professionals out there. I was slightly concerned with it being a promoted side who have going to be coming up to the Premier League, first time in 20 odd years, and they were going to be going for it. And I was thinking, oh, come on, if we can just get this over the line, and we demolished them. To be honest, like they didn't have a chance in that game. So here's me thinking, oh, we're going to be all right, and yeah, we were more than all right. We totally ran the show, and as I say, I think Brighton will be a tougher opposition, but similar. I think I need to hold the confidence going into this game.
Yeah, I mean, we are going to be expecting a much tougher game. I mean, Brighton, of course, coming off the win away to Old Trafford, dismantled a very, very shocking Man United side these days. And the thing is, our record at the Amex Stadium isn't great. Last time we won there was in the Championship. Can we end that down there? Who says we can't? Eddie Howe has ended rots with this side before, mostly the being at home, but we've done it away at Norwich last season. What about Brighton away?
Yeah, it's the same again because, as I say, for that Nottingham Forest game, I was quietly confident, but also trying to be realistic, and I'm feeling similar again for this Brighton game because they are a good side. But I think I just need to have the confidence in us. I think it'll be a tough game, as you've said. They've got good players. I like Graham Potter as the manager. I think it's quite a great little competition between him and Eddie Howe of who's going to win this one. And it would be I think I wouldn't maybe quite go as far as a statement win, but it would definitely put it out there of where we kind of are at the moment. You think Brighton obviously had a pretty decent season last season, actually started the season really well. We're up there in the Europa spaces for quite a long time. And then as the season went on, they kind of dipped a little bit. Yep. If we can turn up to Brighton and win, 1-0, 2-0, 3-0,
that would be great.
That would be a statement, I think, to say, we are here, we're ready to play this season.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, who says we can't, even though it's going to be a bit of a tough test there tomorrow because Brighton have a very good side as well. Yeah. Graham Potter certainly got that team player. He's done a magnificent job with them as well, definitely. If you do enjoy this show, guys, please do hit the thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you are new to the channel as well. And if you enjoy the content and not yet subscribed as well, if you would like to donate, we do have Super Chat available, so you can click the $ sign and donate. And if you'd like to become a member of the channel, just click the join button and you can become a member of the channel as well. And please do check out Rob's channel. It is down in the description, Roobenstein. So feel free to give him a subscribe as well. He does some really, really good content. He really, really does.
Cheers, mate.
No problem. We'll just rattle through some comments that have been coming in. Good to see you both together. Yes, I thought I'd bring him back in because it's been a while since I've had him on the channel. So it has actually. I can remember the last time it was as well. Andrew, hope you're well. Harry, lads, just about to start a 3-11 shift. Thought I'd pop by and say hello. How are the lads? Hope it all goes right, Andrew. Boy, I've been saying this a few weeks now, but this striker thing is a big issue. We need backup, no harm, but not with Wilson's injuries. That's a good point. We do need that extra striker in because Wilson is known to be very injury prone as well. And Chris Wood's just not filling anyone with confidence at all. I mean, we are linked with this striker from Benfica, apparently Ramos.
Yeah.
It's good. Him would be good.
He looks good. He does look good. obviously no one's really feeling the Chris Wood at the minute. It's a funny one because I do feel like we brought him in, we rushed him in, we needed to do something, but he just doesn't fit the style of play that Eddie Howe is trying to do. Wilson he's quicker. You can run the channels. You can do everything, and Chris Wood can't. So now we're kind of out there in this market looking for. Well, I explained it in my video yesterday as like a younger Callum Wilson. We want someone to come in who's, well, most of the strikers we're being linked with are 20, 21, 22. Ramos is 21. Bamba Dieng is 22. Sesko was early 20s as well. So it's very clear we're trying to find that young Callum Wilson who can basically play that role when Wilson isn't. And if that's the plan, then that kind of leaves Chris Wood out on the doorstep. But it's not to say that he can't still have an impact off the bench. Last 20 minutes, we're losing the game, get the big bloke in the box. So I'm hoping he'll still add to the season. But if Wilson gets injured, the system would have to change because Chris Wood can't do it.
No, he doesn't fit the formation, does he?
That's he's
likely he's mostly better with two up front, as what we've seen have when he's played for Burnley. So, well. Basically, hope you're well. Afternoon, lads. Be tough tomorrow with Brighton beating Salford United, which is what Mason's called them now because Man United are just a rotten team at the minute. Andrew says 3 points in bother. Andrew's always very confident now when it comes to before a game. Now he's feeling. I wonder what scoreline you picked like this, Andrew. Would be very, very interested as well. So. White Trust says, if we get a point, I think that's pretty decent. They play Liverpool off the pitch next week. Yes, they do. I don't think a draw would be as bad as well, considering last season it took us 14 wins to get our first game, and just to get some extra points would be absolutely great.
Yeah, I would agree. To be honest, I think too. They always say, don't they? Win your home games, draw your away games. We're hoping to do more than that this season, obviously, with Eddie Howe and hopefully a few new players in the door. But I think Brighton are a team who will be pushing for top 10. So I don't think a point would be a bad one. Obviously, a win would be better. But going off, the kind of team they are, there'll be games this season where we go to an away game, like Nottingham Forest away, Bournemouth away. These kind of games will go to and go, we should get 3. I think I would just about class Brighton as a game where a 1 point away would be decent.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a tough place to go to. So, yeah.
Long journey as well. Newcastle never seem to do too well on the long journey.
Well, that's a thing. But it's way end sold out, so we'll definitely bring a few.
The fans will be there,
as well. So there you go. So a point is a result after that result last week. Yep. Patrick Schick and Leverkusen was one we should have went for. I know we were linked with him, but was he asking for Champions League more than?
Well, I think that's something we're going to. Well, there's a few issues this transfer window, and one of them is that there isn't that many players out there, and then the ones that are wanted, we have a project, so that is our pull, but we haven't quite. Obviously, just not quite at that next level yet. So some of these teams who are being linked with other clubs, they're always going to have that little extra on us, which. Yep. And as I said, it's another reason why I think we're going for some of the youngsters as well to try and get them in early and build them up. But I've still got confidence. Eddie Howe said in his press conference this morning that we're still working on it, but that we've had no luck just yet.
That's it. At least he's being honest, unlike last year where it was just the same old tosh where we're trying to do something, we're trying to scrape and whatever, and it was just like we're nowhere, and they were just told us a pack of bollocks. So there you go. Now then, of course, we won't be wearing any of our normal kits for this season because of the kit clash with the Brighton colours, apparently. So this fourth one that they're bringing, which I think is really, really nice. I've actually did order it myself. But,
well done.
I mean, but it's a bit strange, isn't it, having to make a fourth kit, particularly when all the colours we've got for this season are going to clash with Brighton's, but I don't know.
Well, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Because Well, the reason for the third kit a few years ago was meant to be like your European kit, wasn't it? But then
Usually was, wasn't it?
we're not in Europe, but we've still got a
That's
third
it.
kit. So you've got to
Yeah.
think that we'll do a home one and away one. And then the third one you would think would be the kit they would make sure would not clash with anyone. And then even then the fourth kit, it's still blue. Like Brighton are playing in blue. So it's not like it's orange or so. We should just put some bibs on and just make sure because it's. But although the kit is nice, I'm actually slightly disappointed that it's got Fun 88 on the front of it because obviously it's the Newcastle landmark, St James's Park, the bridge, Millennium, Tyne Bridge, Civic Centre. It's got all that on there, and I think the plan was to actually release it, but as like a training kit or like a collector's kit.
Something like that, wasn't it? But
and for like a one-off kit to collect, it would have been nicer if it didn't have Fun 88 written across the middle of it. But it's just the way it is. But it's sold out online, so if you got one, you did good. You did well there.
I did. I just thought this is going to sell out quickly, so I may as well. And so I'm going to have to trust Castori with the delivery because they've had stinkers with terms of delivering them out this season. People have been waiting for weeks for them. I waited about 3 weeks for the third one to arrive, and my God, that was unacceptable at all. David's going for a 2-1 Newcastle or a 1-1 draw. That's good. But Stapleton says, does our Saudi kit actually clash, though? Well, Brighton are blue and white. Majority, but our third one, it's pretty much all white, apart from the Fun 88's green, part of the badges green, the Castori's green.
Yeah.
I mean, does it really clash that much with Brighton's home kit? I'm not so sure it does.
It's tough to say. I think the shorts could be different colors. If we were like all white, and if we wore the white and green, and then white shorts, white socks, and they wore blue shorts, blue socks, you'd think that would be enough. But I did also wonder. I was like, why Brighton have got a yellow away kit, but apparently the rules are that the home team get first decision. So they've basically said we're going to wear the home kit. It's up to you to sort it out on your end. It is a bit silly. We could have worn one of the goalie tops or something. We must have a different color top somewhere.
You just wonder. I love Casino Quarter Mason. Paul, hope you're well as well. Paul's going 2-0 as well. I mean, Brighton, of course, we know they sold Basuma and of course Cucurella, but they've still got some other great players in there as well. Of course, Pascal Gross, he's really good. Of course, love scoring against Man United as well. I think Trossard's a really cracking player for them as well. I remember just over a year ago last season, in March 2021, where those players kind of ripped where you won because we were defensively organized. But we all know Eddie Howe will make sure he's done his work with the lads in training, because defensively we look a heck of a lot better as well.
Yeah.
And again, another thing, we're looking considerably better when Jamal Lascelles isn't in the team now.
I saw he actually got asked about that in the press conference, didn't he? He was like, is Jamal Lascelles fit? And Eddie Howe was like, oh, he's just about back now. And I'm thinking, I'm not really sure why it matters, to be honest. Not to say that he's done his time for the club, and if he's available to sit on the bench or be part of the dressing room, that's great. But unless Eddie Howe fancies giving Botman a turn this weekend, I don't see the back line changing. Dan Burn returning to his old club as well, so I'm sure he's going to want to make sure he puts in a big performance this weekend, and you're not going to drop Fabian Shaw after what a game he had last week either. So I expect it to be the same. Although Eddie Howe has mentioned Lascelles, I don't imagine he'll play this weekend, or I'd be very shocked if he did.
I mean, because think about it, he was down the pecking order, Jamal Lascelles, particularly when Fabian Shaw and Dan Burn were really, really good. I mean, at first I've got to admit, against Forest, I was actually a bit surprised that Botman didn't start. But then again, of course, Fabian Shaw and Dan Burn have been superb as a centre-back partnership. And I thought Dan Burn as well was also superb against Forest as well. So I think Eddie Howe's going to slowly work Botman into the side like he did with Bruno as well, and then you'll see Bobbin be given his big opportunity at some point.
Yeah, no, I can't disagree. I think that's the way it'll happen. I think once Botman, it'll be like Bruno. Once Botman gets in, he'll be a regular. I think he's just taking his time, just pushing them through the door. It's a funny one with the centre back because with midfielders, you can kind of bring them on with the last 20 minutes. Really, if you're winning a game, you don't change your centre backs.
No.
So it'd probably have to be 2 or 3 up before he starts really trying to start getting them involved. But we're going to have to do it at some point. I know we'll play the cup game, don't we, against Tranmere in a week or two's time. So maybe you give him a full 90 minutes then.
Yeah, you could do, yeah.
But yeah, I think he'll be in soon enough. And I think once he is, hopefully he'll be there for the next 8 or 9 years.
Well, yeah, hopefully, yes, because he looks really good. Yeah, I've seen him in pre-season, particularly in the other games, and in the Bilbao game in the last pre-season. I thought he was really, really top of his game as well. Luca, good. Hope you're well. Dan says, do you think we'll stick with 4-3-3 tomorrow? Yes. I don't think Eddie Howe will go away from his current formation that he's using. It's working. We're attacking teams a lot more now, and we just look a lot more better. Considerably at the beginning of last season, we were all over the place with 5 at the back.
Yeah, it's going to be 4-3-3. The only thing I can think that he may change is if he wants to be slightly more careful, he might look to Longstaff instead of Willock just to be a little bit more defensive. But in honesty, I don't think I'm hoping we won't need it. I'm hoping that we go there, we've got the ball, we've got the possession, and we'll be the ones doing the attacking rather than the ones doing the defending. So it's a thought, and nothing that Eddie Howe does at this point will surprise me because I think he knows what he wants and he'll make those tough decisions. But I think we ran the midfield against Nottingham Forest, and obviously Brighton played very well against Manchester United, but they only had, I think, Man United had the majority of possession. I don't think Brighton necessarily are going to hold the ball against us either. I think we will hopefully have it, and just we need to block their counters because that's up the wings is where they'll try and hurt us. So I think Target and Trippier are going to have a tough game on their hands, but I'm hoping they can deal with it.
Yep, as well. And even though Pope didn't have anything to do really against Forest, but possibly maybe this time. But what I liked with Nick Pope, his distribution is a lot more better than Dubravka's, I've got to admit. Whereas Dubravka hesitates at times to come for the ball, but soon as Nick Pope knows when he can get that ball, he's going to get it. Like when Forest took that corner, all of their players are outside the box. Then they come running in, and then Pope's just quickly coming out and says, "Oh, that's mine 100%." So,
yeah, well, that was. I agree. I think Pope and Dubravka are both very good shot stoppers. I think what Pope does better than Dubravka is it felt like. Nottingham Forest didn't have a shot on target, did they? So he didn't have too much to do. But I felt like part of the reason they didn't have as many shots was because, like you've just said, he was out of the box, he was controlling the defense, he was picking up the long ball. It was almost like he prevented them before they even had the shot. Yeah. So it's easy to say he didn't really make any saves, but if as we watched it and as you've just said there, he was snuffing it out before they even had a chance. So we want to see more of that this season.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you see Dubravka leaving in this window though? If considering it looks like he's lost his starting place now.
I'm really unsure. It's one of those, isn't it? Because the reason we brought Nick Pope in was to create competition.
Yep.
And it sounds like rather than fighting for his place, Dubravka would prefer to maybe move and guarantee himself first team football, which isn't the point of bringing in another keeper at all, really. If because then it'll just be Darlow or Gillespie again. So I don't know. From what Eddie Howe said, it sounds like he wants to keep him because that's, as I say, that's the whole point of him bringing him in, was to create the competition. But if, for example, if Dubravka goes, I want to leave, and then there's an opportunity to use him as part of a deal to bring in a Maddison or whatever we've been linked with, then maybe that's the way to go. It's tough because, our luck, Pope will probably pick up an injury and we'll have Darlow in that. So, like, you don't want to let him go.
Yeah.
But if he's going to sit on the sideline crying, he's been a very good player to us, and I don't want to hold him under lock and key just because we want to, so it's a very delicate situation. It'll be interesting to see. I think if you ask me right now, do I think we'll keep him this season? I'm going to say yes, because I don't think Eddie Howe will want him to go. But as we push on to the end of the window and we potentially get more desperate to bring in players, maybe we'll have to use them to get something done. But we'll see. I would like to not see him go, just like Eddie Howe, but I think it could be tough to hold on to him.
Well, yeah, if he wants to go because he feel like he's lost his place now to Nick Pope by the looks of it, then you can't blame him. He has been a very good servant to us, but we've fetched ourselves an England international who's looking to get into the World Cup squad as well. And Pope wouldn't have wanted to sit and Pope is not here to be sat on the bench. For him signing for us, absolutely not. I like Covey says, hi, Peter Roobenstein, and all hope you well. He's going for a 1-1 draw, and also says Howe versus Potter better match than Lampard versus Gerrard. I think the Lampard versus Gerrard. I think that's going to be absolutely boring as anything. I've got to admit. After both teams started very poorly, as well, so I don't think there's going to be a lot in that. Scott, good evening, hope you well as well. Love the match positives vibes from Roobenstein's match day vlogs. Yes, he continues. Yes, does he continue? He still does his match day vlogs. I had to stop mine there for a reason, but nothing you can do about it, unfortunately now. But so there you are. So well, then what we'll do is we'll rattle through the start lineup. So let's get into it. So we'll start with you then, Rob. Goalkeeper. This is an obvious one.
Yeah, we've just talked about him. It's got to be Nick Pope. As I say, he didn't have too many saves to make at the weekend. I mean, it would be great if he hasn't got too many to make this weekend as well, although I think he may do. But yeah, it's got to be him, and yeah, we want to see him have a good season.
Yep. Right back spot again. It's going to be this man, Kieran Trippier, who no doubt will take captain's armband if Lascelles doesn't play. I mean, I was slightly a bit disappointed if some of his corners didn't beat the first man at times, but hopefully, again, he's been working on that because, again, he's been a massive breath of fresh air for us, particularly. And just to get him in January was absolutely amazing as well. Right, centre-backs. So who's going to be one of the choices in centre-backs?
Well, I'm going to keep Shaw in. I think he had a really good game. Eddie Howe has spoken a lot about his style of play and how he likes to play football, and I just think that Shaw matches exactly what Eddie Howe is looking for in a centre-back. It's crazy to think that we paid $3.5 million for
that was not
like we paid very little, and you think of some of the signings going on. I mean, for example, Cucurella going from Brighton to Chelsea for $50 million. I mean, how much would Shaw be worth then? Because he's such a good player. He knows how to defend, and in this new possession-based style of football, he stands out, and he can score a screamer when we need him to as well.
Which he can do as well. That's what he can do as well. So there you are. And right alongside Fabian Schär, no doubt, I think it'll definitely be this man keeping his place in the start lineup, Dan Burn. You could tell in the Forest game, when Forest were playing a lot of long balls, he was just reading them far too comfortably. He just knew that this is mine. I'm getting to this. There's no chance they're getting onto that. And he's just making himself look big considering his size already. You just know he can easily read the game. So there you are. And taking left back spot.
Yeah, it's going to be Matty Target, isn't it? To be fair, Not that I would drop him. He's spoken himself actually in an interview just the other day where he's spoken about his England hopes as well. I think he's I don't know, maybe I'm a Newcastle biased, but I can't believe he didn't make it into the last squad. We took about 5 different right backs because Shaw was injured, Chilwell was injured. There was no available. Matty Targett was the obvious choice in my eyes to take a left-footed player for that position, and Southgate chose to. Well, actually, he played Trippier there, didn't he? He played Trippier left back, but I'm getting onto a different conversation now. Southgate said when he got in there, he was going to go off form, and he wasn't just going to take players because he knew them. I mean, he's totally. He hasn't done that for me. Target should have been in, and I think if he can continue the way he's playing, he's in a shout because I don't think there's that many left backs out there at the moment for England. So yes,
yeah, I agree. I mean, something we've been missing in the left back as well in terms of pace going up and down the flags, getting crosses in the box as well, because I just don't think Dummett has got pace for left back now. That's my issue. I mean, as in the Bilbao game friendly, you could just see he really started to tire out, and that is the problem.
It's going to be interesting to see. I think it's going to be across the whole pitch this season with the fact that the World Cup's on. It means we're having to play 2-3 games in a week sometimes. And we're relatively okay in most positions. As I say, we've got Burn, Botman, Shaw. We've got Lascelles if we need him. Right back, we've got Trippier. And then Crafty was obviously good. In the left back, Target then Dummett or Lewis, but Lewis hasn't even featured all pre-season.
No,
Dummett,
he hasn't.
I don't know what his stance is as a left back now, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. But from what I can tell, as I say, Target can handle himself pretty well, so I'm quite confident with that position with him there.
Yeah, same as well, definitely. Right into the midfield free. So starting with this man, of course, Bruno. Oh, I could just see since he'll be all over that pitch again in terms of his hold-up play with his passing ability as well, and also winning the ball back as well. I mean, look what he has added to our side when we signed him in January this year, and just what a player he's been. He looks unstoppable.
So he's so good. He totally controlled the rhythm of the game at the weekend. Everything goes through him. I mean, this is what will be an interesting one this weekend because I think what we saw from Brighton in their game was they attack the wings quite a lot, whereas we try and play our football through the middle. So I think we will run the midfield this weekend, and I've no doubt that Bruno will be the man organising that forward play. So yeah, I would love to see him get a few more goals for himself this season as well. I think obviously there was a lot of reliance on Wilson last year. I think from what we saw against Nottingham Forest, everyone was trying to get involved, which is good. Yeah, it's great.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Who's the next position player taking in the next midfield role?
Yeah, I'll go for his Brazilian counterpart, Joe Linton. He's gonna play. He's gonna start in this new centre midfield role that we've given him, where he just runs around kicking everybody all over. It just works perfectly with Bruno because he's the man who's the controlled player with the possession. He finds the passes, and I swear, Joe Linton, he seems to grow every time I see him. He's massive now. He's such a unit, breaking up the play. He's got all the energy in the world. I think a lot of that's down to the pre-season that Eddie Howe's had these guys through. We look fitter than we've ever been, and Joe Linton he's everywhere. He's everywhere. He's such a big part of this team now.
He is. He should have took one of them last week, I've got to admit.
No,
but other than that, you can see that role has suited him in terms of his holding up the ball, his passing ability as well. And no one looks like they want to take on him now because he looks that of a beast in midfield now. And last position in the midfield as well, I believe it'll be this man staying as well. So I think Joe Willock is going to keep his place in the centre midfield role as well. I thought Willock wasn't too bad against Forest as well. Maybe it could be his opportunity to shine this season as well, definitely. So we'll just wait and see then. Okay then, right. Okay, so who is going on the right-hand side?
I should imagine it'll be Almiron again. I thought he did good at the weekend. I thought generally our attacking play throughout the game was good. He got himself into the right positions. He couldn't finish the ball when he was in those positions, so that was the frustrating thing for him. A couple of times the ball was coming across the box, and all he had to do was just put his right toe on it. But instead, he wanted to put it on his left. He wanted to cut back inside.
That's the thing.
So the important thing is he was in those positions. He's obviously working hard to try and add numbers to his game. He had a great pre-season. We just want to see what we saw in the pre-season now translate over into this Premier League season. And if he can do that, I think he could be on for a really good one. Right wing's a position that we're still linked with for players, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, but yeah, I agree. I think Biggie will keep his position in there. He just does need to work on his right foot a lot more because he definitely had opportunities.
He's a professional footballer. He's got to be able to kick it with his right foot.
I mean, even though he's majority left-footed, but you got to try with both feet at times.
Yeah, as well, definitely.
Out on the left-hand side, I think we know this is an obvious one. It's going to be, of course, ASM. What do you think of Maxi lately? He's starting to pass the ball a lot more now, which we were really getting on his back for not doing that a lot last season, and he was doing that a lot more. He's been doing that particularly in pre-season and against Forest as well, where you could see Matty Targett running, or particularly when we scored the second goal, the pass he picks out to Joelin out wide on the left for him to whip the ball in for Wilson to make it 2-0 for us. That's what you just want to see Maxi do. But but use his pace as well, because he's frightening when he's on the ball.
Yeah, that's the thing with Maxi. No one's ever denied that he's a fantastic player. What needed to be looked at was his decision making and what he did next. And I think he's definitely spent time with this squad and with Eddie Howe, and he's just tried to refine a little bit of his game. Don't just pick the ball up, head down, and just run. Like, let's actually look up. And if there's a chance to take on a player to get into the box, because we saw him do that a few times against Nottingham Forest, as I say, a couple of those missed chances by Almiron were Maxi balls, and he got himself in the box. I remember he had a header that he didn't put in. He had a shot where he kicked it at the goalie. So, as I say, there was times where he was composed enough to just turn around and pass it in. But then we did still see a little bit of that magic. So we don't want to lose that. We just need to make sure we're just using it at the right times. And he did that. He did that very well at the weekend, I thought.
Yep, absolutely. And last player up in the middle, another obvious one.
Yeah, it's going to be Callum Wilson, isn't it? Great player, fits Eddie Howe's system perfectly. For times, actually was a little bit quiet in that Nottingham Forest game, but I think that's what you get with Callum Wilson, isn't it? He's not always part of the build-up play, but you know that he will be in the box, and when he gets a chance, he's more than likely to put it in the back of the net. I saw a statistic that I think he gets on average a goal every 2 games, and on average, he only has around 2 shots a game. Imagine if we were able to get him 4, 5, 6 shots a game. He'll be scoring a hat-trick every week.
He could be. I mean, who says he can't? Who says he can't? He gets in the right positions, what he's really good at. And he can certainly tuck them away at him as well. Right, what we'll do is we'll just rattle through some of these comments, and then we'll get with score predictions, and then we'll finish the live show from them. What do you think of Forest signing Dennis? I think it's a good signing for them as well. Fulham in for Bamba Dieng on Sky Sports. I've not seen that yet. So Dan says, bit worried about Gross. Seems to get into good positions at the right time. Man United defence was all over the place, so hoping will be more organised against their runs from wide. Yep. No doubt Eddie Howe, again, has been working with the lads in training. He would tell the lads that where their main threat comes from, definitely. So, like Covey says, Southgate probably wants Target to score goals like Van Bronckhorst for a place in the England squad. The problem is Southgate has his favourites a lot of the time, and it massively backfires on him at times as well. So, Luca's going live from 6 o'clock. Nice one, Luca. Stevenson, has Southgate given up already, going for usual suspects instead of developing the England squad?
Wow.
At times, I think if we have a poor World Cup, I think he's got to be finished. He's got to be gone after that.
Yeah, it's Southgate's a strange one because you can't not forget the fact that we have just achieved a lot. Like for the first, although we didn't actually win anything, getting to the finals, and we gave it a good go. But there's always criticism to give when you think it's correct, and I do. I just think the easiest thing sometimes is to overthink stuff. Sometimes I
Aye.
feel like Gareth Southgate's already trying to do step 9, 10, and 11 when he
Yep.
hasn't even looked at step one and two yet. Bring a left-footed left back to the game. Like
Absolutely,
surely
yeah.
that's as easy as it is, but he's already thinking, well, if I do this and I do that. So yeah, it's going to be a strange World Cup over in the sun.
Yeah,
But it's
it's
funny that you mentioned the goals as well, because that was another thing Matty Target actually said in his interview, was that he wants to add more goals and assists to his game. So he's obviously looking at that because he probably thinks that Southgate says the same. So we'll have to see.
yeah, absolutely as well. So if I like how he says Forrest could not handle ASM, especially their right back. Now, they certainly couldn't. ASM's keeping uppies were awesome. No, don't worry, by the way. I like how he says, I'll pay Roobenstein go to get the Brighton special kit or the old sold out. Well, I've got mine ordering, and I've actually just had a notification email said that my order's been dispatched already. So, wow.
Wow,
Because
what the
don't worry,
hell?
I've got something right there, considering the man absolute stinkers.
Amanda must have been having a go at him, I think. Get this sorted. I've not ordered mine. I didn't realize it was it was going to sell out so quick. I can only hope they're going to do some more soon, and I'll go into the shop and get it. I think they've still got some in the large sizes, but they won't have my size left, I don't think.
Oh, that's the thing. I mean, a lot, particularly the kits, they don't make them to fit properly a lot of the time. It's either tight on the arms, it's either tight down the sides.
Yeah,
And
I know
that's
when
the
I
main
went
issue.
when I went to get the home kit the other week, I picked up a few different sizes. I thought I'm just going to try them all on because I can't be bothered buying the wrong one.
Yeah, so well, there you are. But anyways, what we'll do now, we'll get in, we'll get the score predictions in now, and we'll wrap up the show as well. So, Rob, your score prediction for tomorrow, and who's getting the goals for us?
I have gone 2-1 Newcastle.
Nice.
We're gonna break the curse. We're gonna beat Brighton at the Amex in the Premier League.
What I like to hear.
As we discussed at the start of the show, I think a draw, a point after winning the first game, drawing the away game, I don't think that will be too bad. But if you look at, as I say, the game they played against Manchester United, they didn't have a lot of the ball. I think we will be just as good as keeping the possession as Manchester United were.
Yep.
But I think our defense is actually stronger than theirs. I think that's one thing I've got a lot of confidence in this season is keeping the ball away from our goal.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go 2-1 for the goals. I'll go Wilson to get one. I'll go Bruno for the other. And then for Brighton, I don't know. Danny Welbeck.
I could do. Welbeck's showed a little bit of a my dad's in the house. Very good show. You two compliment each other. Thanks very much, Dad, for that. Your dad likes to watch my shows.
Good guy.
As well, definitely. And my score prediction, I'm also going to go for a 2-1 win to Newcastle. And I did say this on Paul's show as well, that I've also gone for Wilson and Bruno to get the goals for us as well. So there you are. It is very possible. So there you are. Well, then that's the end for the preview show for today. Again, I will be back at 8 o'clock tonight for the usual PD's Football Live show. The link will be in the live chat, so feel free to get yourselves on and we'll discuss about tomorrow's game and also last week's game. So feel free to get yourselves on for tonight. Again, I'll be doing the first ever watch along on the channel tomorrow as well. And I think John is actually going to plan to join me for that one as well. So it'd be great to get Mr. Sinclair on. So Sinclair is just a legend. He's always a great laugh, Sinclair. Not to mention last week, not to mention his £100 donation to the food bank
I did see
last week, which is absolutely fantastic as well, definitely. So there you are. Well, guys, again, if you have enjoyed this live show, please do stick the thumbs up on. Please do hit the subscribe button. if you are new to the channel, or if you're enjoying the content and not yet subscribed. As well, you can still donate to the channel as well when this is out. And if you do like to become a member of the channel as well, just click the join button and you can become a member of the channel as well. And of course, Rob's channel is down in the description. It is Roobenstein, so he does some really, really good stuff as well. You think he's over? Well, you're nearly at 35,000 now.
Yeah, I'm getting close. I think I'm a couple of hundred off, so that'll be great. I'm looking forward to hitting that milestone.
Yeah, what shirt is Roobenstein wearing? It's one of the old One Days Under Keegan. It was.
I'm trying to. I don't know the year off the top of my head. Actually, I didn't think I would.
Yeah,
one of the old ones.
It certainly is. But anyway, guys, thank you very much again, and I will catch us all later on at 8 o'clock tonight. See you all later. Take care.